And pretty excited to welcome Jeshrun Antwi of the Montreal Alouettes, who, as I mentioned, are on a bye week this week. So it's, we're very pleased. The man can do it all. He's got receptions, he's got carries, he's got kick returns this year with the Alouettes. Jeshrun, welcome to the RP show. How's the bye week going, sir?
Thanks for having me, Rod. It's great. I'm just, hanging out with my family. Just had a 4-month-old child, so he's about to turn 4 months. So I'm just kind of hanging out with my wife, her family, my family, and just resting and relaxing.
Congratulations, you need it. And you must feel, I would think,
Thank you,
fairly fortunate that we're in week 7 and you're already on your second bye week. But at your position, I'm sure you needed it. How are you feeling here in week 7 physically?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Obviously, we had that game in BC. Traveled to BC, and then we came back, and it was a very short week, and then we had to play a very good Toronto team. Not the result that we wanted, but the guys rallied. We felt like we played. We just missed a few plays here and there, but physically, I feel pretty good. I'm enjoying this bye weekend. I can't wait to get back at it.
Well, your play on the field looks like you are enjoying it, and what we love about these segments is introducing players like yourself to our audience. And I want to tell folks that Jeshrun's from Calgary, went to Father Lacombe High, played at the University of Calgary, 6th-round pick by the Alouettes, but was born and raised in Israel, moved to Ghana when he was 5. I shouldn't say born and raised, born in Israel, moved to Ghana when he was 5, and then came to Calgary when he was 12. So that's, honestly, I can't go any further than with that. You got to tell me how you go from that upbringing to being an all-purpose back with the Alouettes and leading them in rushing last year. That's a hell of a story in between.
Yeah, so my parents met in Israel. My grandmother lived in Israel. I still haven't gotten the story out of them, but that's where they met. So my older sister and myself were born there, and then we went back home to Ghana. And then I came here when I was 11, 12, and went to junior high, high school here. I thought Lacombe High School, and when I was there, my physics ed teacher. My mother was not a very big fan of football, American football, that is, because back home we play soccer and we call that football, and so she wasn't a very big fan of it because, pads, the physicality, guys get hurt. And so initially when I wanted to play, it was a no-go. I wanted to play volleyball, actually, when I was in high school. And my physics ed teacher, his name's Ian Couture, a mentor of mine to this day, he just looked at me and he went, "Look, brother, you're going to be the one that's going to be imposing your will on others, not the other way around." And so started playing football in grade 10 at Father Lacombe. Had some decent coaches, and I guess I was good enough. I didn't think I was good enough because I had only been playing since grade 10, but I guess I was good enough to get recruited by Matthew Berry and Coach Noah at the time at the University of Calgary. And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, and you're a career Alouette. How do you like playing in Montreal, and could you ever envision yourself playing anywhere else? Because it seems to be going really well. Yeah,
I love playing in Montreal. I was drafted in 2019 by a different administration, and then obviously went back to school. 2020, we didn't have a season. Ironically, I had a pretty terrific injury in 2019 when I came back at the UFC, the year that we won the Venue Cup. Didn't even play in that game. And so that 2020 year, I know everybody has mixed feelings about, missing football and the world in general, missing a whole lot of things. However, I have a different feeling towards it because it allowed me to recover. I'm of a firm mindset. Had I went to camp in 2020, I do not think I would have been able to participate just because I was not healthy at all. And so that year off allowed me to get my wrist right, allowed me to heal. And I love playing in Montreal, with a new staff, Danny, Eric, PY, JM, Byron, Coach Maz now. It's a great organization, and I've enjoyed my time there. And I honestly would love to play there for my whole career.
Well, listen, every time the Alouettes take the field, I cheer for them, primarily because of my guy, Cody Fajardo, which I will get to in a second.
Yeah.
But regarding your story, is this something that you're sharing with immigrant kids about what's possible, or are you still too busy carving your own story and you'll do that down the line? Are you involved with kids, say, getting him into sports now, like in Calgary and so forth?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. In the off season, I moonlight as a guest teacher with the Calgary Catholic School Board, and so I've taught at Notre Dame. I taught at Notre Dame in 2021 for 4 months. And then I also coach the senior boys basketball team. I was an assistant coach there. I've been there for the past 3 years. And so it's good for the kids or whichever school that I visit. The principals always end up finding out who I am. I don't like to really, walk in and say, oh, this is who I am. Yeah, I play football and all that stuff. But, with the internet these days, you walk in any school, kids Google you, they find out who you are. And it just sort of kind of becomes a thing where I can speak to kids, whether they're immigrant or not, just about hard work, perseverance, and just playing sports in general. That's when I first got here, that's how I made friends. I was fairly new, didn't know anybody, but I had never played basketball before. I had never played football. I had never played soccer. I only played soccer and ran track. And so I just encourage kids to, join sports, swimming, hockey, whatever it is, just get involved some way. And I think it will change your life.
Well, I'll tell you what, isn't it nice to have somebody Google you and like what they find? And it's a good thing.
Yeah,
and so I would say
absolutely.
the Canadian Football League's lucky to have you, and we're very lucky to have you on today. But the burning question for me is, how good are the Alouettes? I've watched every game. I think we've seen every side of the Alouettes you guys got to offer.
Yep.
So what's the real Alouettes here?
I think we're a team that is built on competition and toughness. And, in the end, we're trusting the process. It might not always end up how we want it, but with the guys in the locker room, with our coaching staff, with what Coach Maz preaches, we're going to show up every week, week in and week out. Doesn't matter what the score is, and we're going to go to war as a brotherhood. And we're going to compete. I think that's where that comes to mind. We're always going to compete. You can never, you're never going to see us with our head hanging down, no matter the flow of the game. Even in BC, that was unlike anything I've ever been a part of since I've been playing. As far as say too much, but as far as officiating goes, but we as players, we need to do better. We can't put ourselves in a position where it's a gray area per se, where the refs feel like, okay, I kind of have to make this call. So we gotta, kind of play better and make the plays that come to us. But if you want to talk about the 2023 Alouettes, the word is compete. We're gonna come. We're gonna be gritty. We're gonna be relentless, and we're gonna play hard.
I see it. Well, keep it going. Thanks for spending some time with us on the bye. We'll let you get back to your new babe. Say hey to Cody for me, and Jeshrun, keep it rolling, man. It's fun to watch.
I appreciate you having me, Rod.
Jeshrun Antwi of the Alouettes joining us in our weekly CFLPA Player Spotlight. And a big thank you to the CFLPA. I got to be honest, every week when we find out who's going to be our guest from across the Canadian Football League, it's always a surprise, and I can't wait for it. And what a wonderful interview with Jeshrun. What a great young man. And thanks to Kevin with our crew and everybody for making it happen.